Okay, welcome to today's VR cast. It's my great pleasure to welcome you not only here in this room in Allspace VR, where we see some changes, but also live on YouTube Live, the live stream. And I know a lot of people watched it afterwards because all the presentations and the guests are really fascinating. And not different today. So it's my great pleasure to welcome Nikolay Smorgun, the head of game development of Computools here. So welcome, Nikolay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great. Yeah, it's great to have you here. And I know you're based in the Ukraine, which is certainly a hotspot for development. But we'll hear a lot more from you. I think it's really exciting to hear how you use as an organization also VR, in terms of kind of the business impacts and the opportunities you see. I think we will learn here a lot from you, and I look forward to your presentation. We'll do that the following way. So you present, and then we'll discuss a little bit questions, and yeah. So I'd like to hand over basically the floor to you, Nikolay. Welcome.
Thank you very much. So first, before I will actually start my presentation, I want to describe about our company, about Computools, and why we can to you suggest 5 reasons or 5 proofs how we can to suggest to your business use actually VR. So we was founded in 2013. One second, I will select. And on current moment, we have in-house more than 200 users. Wow. And we, of course, cover a lot of different directions. And this happened because we focused more on the solution and on the troubleshooting than on the coder. So I will show to you next slides. This is our clients. You can also check our testimonials on the Clutch and on the Good Firms website, and of course on our website as well.
Very impressive.
So where you can use in VR in your business? And first answer is in education. This is our case. It's chemistry VR. So what you can to do is actually to combine some different molecules, and before you can load your molecules in specific formats what you're using in chemistry industry. So every link between these molecules, it's something matter. And of course, if you want to fast as possible to get your formula or understand how this process actually work, so what you need to do is just using your hands and mix by these parts and rotate these parts what you want. Yes. And you will see different changes here, and you can see actual final formula. This is only one example. Okay, so this is can be usable and in different areas, in classroom, in create alternate version of environment when you can to manipulate by object, you can to see itself process, and of course you can have absolutely great communication, and you have a fun experience. Fun experience is very important because brain of human constructed in this way that we more understand by associative memory, not by just boring text, boring digits, and etc. We associate something, objects, with something entities with our text panning. So this is important. Create some type of gamification. That's why in Altspace, because we will a lot time to return to Altspace to show to you this experience. Then when you in there, you feel like you in auditory. You feel like you see real peoples. And this is absolutely great, special if you need understand some process and you can cooperate with your master or with your teacher. So
Yeah,
education for commercial purpose, this is very important thing.
I think
Because
that's a huge area. Yeah, I agree, Nikolai. I think that's a huge area. I mean, this is one of the and the I mean looking at the statistics, how big the impact is of learning in VR something. I mean, we're talking about 30 to 50%, which we heard before. I think that's a really exciting area. So you're right there. Timelines 3 weeks. So what would a client achieve within 3 weeks?
in 3 weeks, this is for this example. So we in
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks done this concrete case with the rotation. You can see these links, so you can
Mm-hmm.
rotate by rules these links. You can to mix this molecules with different type of molecules, and also you can see how new connections and links created in real time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Very
by
good.
controls on the VR, by working with the graphic side renderer, because all shading, all calculations, this is not on the CPU, this is on the graphic side,
Mm-hmm.
just for calculate and handle more than million of the items and the links. So in three
Mm-hmm.
weeks, we done this exam.
Wow, nice,
And
very nice.
for education, I want to add different example from the life, because um,
Mm-hmm.
painful and very painful, how let's say, not world. This is math world, because you can see what if you learn from the text, and you can to drawing and understand how it in the real geometry figures. So it's different experience, and this experience you can show with the VR.
Cool. Thank you. Very nice.
So next, where you can use in VR or IR solutions, this is in automotive. Of course, this area, uh, VR and IR, both of them, it's completely uh, reduce count of problems. One of the problems is uh, functionality about customizing things. It's understanding the character of the car, and of course, you can to understand more deeply how some techniques and some stuff work in your automobile. This is very
Mm-hmm.
important when you
Mm-hmm.
want something to sell. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want, how in this case, what we to do, we just create multi-layer shader for the Range Rover showroom. So what you to do is just to sit, and you can load unlimited count of the images, and this is images applied directly on your surface and the car. And each uh, image you can control as Photoshop layers. You can sort out the layers, you can to apply different effects, you can move each image on your surface, rotate and scale. And after your manipulation is done, what you to do is just bake your actual color painting for the body car, and after it's transfer to the manufacturer for order your custom view. This is very
Mm-hmm.
useful if you, for
Mm-hmm.
example, buy car for your business and you
Mm-hmm.
want to represent your logo, your slogans, how it will look like, experimenting with the coloring,
Mm-hmm.
with the sizing or rotation. Um,
Mm.
so,
Very nice. Mm-hmm.
so we this implement in the 3 weeks. Main technology here is Wolfori. Of course, this example we can use in and for in a VR and just 3D. And
Mm-hmm.
also, what I want to add is about selling cars itself. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
automobile productions have packages, but if on real, this is packages. Even if you see it on the website, peoples don't by finish understand what these packages are. I will make some of example. It's elegance packages and sport packages. For example, in elegance, you have little and small changes on the body, but you have a lot of changes inside the comfort, how a car it's manipulating it, etc. And you cannot just represent on your website client's mood about automobile because you
Mm-hmm.
want to feel three basic things in your automobile: comfort, security,
Mm-hmm.
and character. And
Mm-hmm.
this you can feel in VR because in VR you can see it not, and you don't need to go to a specific place. You don't need to wait in special car because special cars
Mm-hmm.
maybe this is very custom solutions. For example, you want sport car, you want aggressive car, and you need to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Without these feelings, you cannot to sell this automobile. So
Yes.
VR can easily to fix it. And of course, on this example, you can see much more simplified model.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
in VR and in 3D environment, you can see much more professional reflections, much more a big professional
Yes.
lighting. So it will be exactly more close into the photography.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah.
So next, very big direction, I will say, when you can use in VR, this is in e-commerce. So this is example. I will specially talk about this example because it's
Mm-hmm.
very great to show the big problem of that. So this is also our out-of-box solution, but about it we
Mm-hmm.
will talk in later. So imagine SWOT have more than 700 details and items what you can
Mm-hmm.
customize.
Mm-hmm.
And each of these items have specific rules what they compatible between what details.
Mm-hmm.
So this is nightmare for the clients. For example, I want to buy SWOT and send this is like a present, like a gift, and just to read documentation how it works. No, this is no possible for regular client. This is no possible
Mm.
for people who not
Yes.
interested in this in deep. So if this is no sense of your life, you never will be see this documentation and never will be understand how it works. So you or buy already pre-made sword. So this is not unique gift if you're target on this. So
Mm-hmm.
what application to do actually? First problem, what this is fixed, it's load in runtime 3D objects. Because 3D environment don't understand how load object from third-party sources. So this is need teach. And this teaching it's not very effective way for the represent 3D objects because where you teach the system to understand points and edges, they not understand about color. Color have additional overrides and additional
Mm-hmm.
views for apply some effects for
Mm-hmm.
adding more realism to this. And this is first problem what we fix and create. So with our toolkit and out-of-box solution, you can watch objects in runtime with support in every platform, including WebGL version, and you will see exactly this material that you want. So next problem is showing only compatible things what you select. So if you select one of the part, for example, this is beautiful steel with the Hadori, this is name of this effect of waves on the steel. So you have different objects and items with these words, and you see only these objects. Of course, you can immediately buy or save your object for the next time or customize the next time. So VR experience give to you different mood and feel. So you can get this sword in your hand and something make some interaction and see this beautiful steel reflection.
Mm-hmm.
So this is out of box solution. We spent on
Wow.
this 15 months by the team.
Mm-hmm.
But For the regular clients who will to asking us building same by technical side, this is will take around 3 months. And in these 3 months, it's only will include two things. One thing is create 3D models, custom 3D models, what you want to sell and put here. And second, it's how to connect data about selling to your website. Because I sure what client don't want to create additional tax forms, PDFs, and etc. So we can to plug in with solutions what the client have itself. And this is maximum to 3 months to recreate it.
Wow, very impressive.
Next, education in AR, but you already see education. What's happened? What's going on? So actually, in my first slide, it was education for the commercial stuff. So
Yes.
when you learn something, but we have here different category of education. This is internal corporate education for self-employees. This is very important area because corporation become much more bigger, and you have and meet one and very big problem. People will become more individually.
Yes.
Individualism in corporations, this is a big enemy because people will thinking only about itself and itself need. They don't see and don't understand from the don't look. I mean, on the object from angle of the team or from corporation. So relationships between teams not very warm. So it's mean what you cannot to create and brainstorming new creative and cool ideas, and you cannot to affect on the market. So for fixing it, you have actually two ways for moving. So first way is create physical meetings. You can just to make like order in restaurant, but this is not you getting because actually in corporation peoples with different um, level of knowledges, directions, they absolutely different. They don't have something, how let's call it, spirit merging thing. They have only something self-limited skill, and saying what they have, it's name of corporation at all. So what I suggest, it's using specific games who will show to you, first of all, how to understand and be more engageable in exactly process incorporation and understand what you, not just one person in corporation, you can in very fun way cooperate, learn, and suggest something new, and don't scare about it because every action is actually to show it in the gamification form. So if you have gamification, nobody will be judge you. So feelings of people will be much more opener, and this is of course will be in success way affect on the ideas. So Algebra Tycoon, this is the corporation game for with learning. So what you to do, it's actually be the CEO of business. It's virtual business, and by specific um, formulas, what you have in small business economy. Uh, so you fixing some missions and some errors in your business. So you have mission, and you can answer like in quiz, what you select, why you select. You can communicate and have some missions between your employees in your team.
Right. And why do you call it Algebra Tycoon? I mean, it sounds more like yeah.
It sounds more like just linear algebra, but here a lot of formulas what you can find specific for business. One of the tasks is, for example, how you can appear effective level if you reposition, for example, a stack of boxes in your production area. And for this concrete criteria, you have different formulas what you can use in, and based on these formulas, actions. And if you select something right for you, so your value, it's calculated by application. It's not talking by personally, but you can to coordinate and cooperate with different people for help to you and understand this process. You can communicate.
Yeah.
So this is why Algebra Tycoon, because this is
Okay.
actually algebra based for business.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Everyone looks
Next, where you
different.
can use
So,
in VR, this is in creation actually content. Because in the modeling side, you have position, scaling, and rotation, the entities or objects. But you also have the main problem of the modeling and different designers. This is your actually world scale, because this is some in your brain what not will allow to you from the first time to build object what you do like, or even you create this object, it's not never will be 100% same than you imagine.
Yeah.
So some designers have different techniques. They create some entities with real fixed size, and based on this object, they start in something, create model. But where you in your VR, you can see and you can understand completely how you see world. So you're not thinking about proportion, you're more focused on the create actually content. And this is
Okay.
very fun process, because this is not like a million types of
Yes.
clicking the mouse. This is just position here. You can move back, move closer, and you can see how it works for you. So
Yeah.
this is techniques. It's already using for Unreal Engine. We have already plugins for the Maya, and I think in more tools we'll be using for the VR. For example, if we're talking about automobile industry, um, so this industry spends millions of euros just for proof their design on the salon, for example, indoor salon. Because they represent this in the physically, and they need understand how it works. I sure and I believe that this is can completely switch just in VR, because in VR you have world scaling. You see how it you see in real life, and you can create different situations that never can be represented in physical life. Not, for example, with the simulates air, with the, for example, wheel will be moved in the front of us, and how the system works. Do you have much time for the click on the button, for example, or rotate something? So this is you can check in the VR.
Wonderful.
So next, what I want to describe, this is about out-of-box solutions. So it's specific kits, some already developed, some stuff what you not need to start from scratch. So you have some foundation for development. And uh, what I want first of all to show is special boxes for the commerce. So for the e-commerce, you can saw before our first out-of-box solution, Samurai Swords. This is shop previously, and you can see what in the 3 months you can already have the real product. So difference interactive solution kit, it's specific box. I will return to this for just compare to you different items and goods categories. You know, if you sales manager in the company, to you people not trust before. This is just normal problem
Mm-hmm.
for every shop. And if you will tell to people like, oh, for you, for specific your like a human, I will suggest this or this category of item.
Mm-hmm.
So people will understand this like
Yes.
negative. Why? Because for them, salesmen is people who try to sell something
Sell. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
expensive. So in our solution, you can by self, like client, by self skin, feel how you will be with this object. In current example, it's asking two and compare two different categories in the coffee environment, a just coffee machine and automatic coffee machine. So what in your box it's to do, it's you can assemble your coffee, how you create this is in manual way and in automotive way. Also here you can see the spent time for it. And do you like these feelings? Because
Mm-hmm.
we need to reduce number of refunds also. Because if you enjoy by process making the coffee, you don't need automatic machine. You need enjoy by process itself for your this category. If for you much more important this time, so uh, for you this is automatic machine. And if you thinking like different clients, what everything in price, no, everything in experience,
Mm.
how you
Yeah.
use this.
Yes.
And here you can compare this. And you can compare different items, cars, everything in the same category. This
Mm-hmm.
application not try to say it what some category is bad, but you need for
Uh-huh.
self check, do its category fit to you? Do you want
Mm-hmm.
small car? Do you want bigger little car? Do you understand difference between them, between these classes? This box can do this. I will return back a little bit and will show these benefits what um, we try to cover just for making this box. So in this box, you will save 263% the development time. So you're not starting from scratch. So it's
Yeah.
mean what you something want asking?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. 55, 65%, this is your cost reduction. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, we will make on 90% less risk because this functional, what we implement, this is ready for work and ready for testing from your side. And of course, speed for increasing and adding new option, absolutely immediate.
Yeah.
So this is key advantages. But I want to focus just on the few of them. It's
Mm-hmm.
cross-platform supporting. This is need for reduce count of refunds because people will much more loyalty where they trust to your product. And analytics. Analytics side is
Uh-huh.
very important. If you have a big assortment, you can or increase or create decreasation of this because uh, some of these items not selling or not have asking from people. So what you can to do is just testing. Do it make sense for you? So in future you just save money on production
Yeah.
assembly line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Makes sense.
So next box, it's about showroom. Of course, we understand that some items don't sellable itself. For example, I will show to you Kenwood cookie hood because I sure that 90% of people just don't know uh, what functionality of this object. And this
Yes.
is
Uh-huh.
first negative value from this object. Second negative
Mm-hmm.
value, for these classes of object, this is size and noise. You cannot just imagine on self area. And if I will to sell this object to people who this don't understand, so make sure like in 50-50 that this person will refund this object to you back, because he will teach in real area that this is very big for his kitchen, for example. He not expect this noise and etc. And this is negative value what can to add client to business. So what you can to do, you can validate these clients. You can show actually object. You can show actually functional that user don't know. And by animation, of course, you can represent all black spots what's inside the client mind. But for example, how you can wash this thing. But for me, it's something unbelievable. But in showroom, you can see how it works, and this is much more easier than you understand. So actually, here we reduce time on 60% because every item we have different animations, different way how it's shown, but all controls and items inside, of course, this is that we reduce. So here on this slide, I try to describe for what business type need to use VR for all. Next, this is high level goals, but here what I want to tell, what much more important, this is about gamification of the sales process. Also adding different channels for the selling, and of course for the checking objects, fixing assortment problem, and these areas and items what I talked before. I don't want every item to tell to you, because this is how, on my opinion, clear, understandable from the start what benefits it is. So if you own the business and you want using the VR, in what where you can use in VR or you don't need. So how you can verify this? If you want extend experience, like in Kenwood example, so you real want to show how it works in real, VR for you. If you want extend the functional, because you create some object with first version, with MVP for the proof of concept, your business do it will be work. And if people like, you still don't have a lot of budget for making your product with every functional that you want, so you can check this. VR for you. Add new feature to product. So same thing. Some product with new feature, not every time to become much more good and better. So you before have chance to check this. VR for you. And add gamification element. If you want add gamification element, it's of course in success way will be affecting your business, and VR for you. But please don't use VR or AR if you need more time for learn how it works for your client. But for example, if clients will immediately use your product and just for VR, it's few pages for just reading, this is bad experience from the start, because this is hard for people to understand, and this is will reduce people time what they are spending in VR. On our calculations, 255 words reading from people by instruction, and time reducing in the VR This is actually 5 minutes multiple on 2.37. Next, when application, this is text application. So you create some product application or etc. And this is text. This is just regular text. So in VR, you will see just curved view and a lot of text. If you have a lot of text, VR not for you.
Yeah.
This is not for you if VR will add huge price to your product. I will make one of example. You create special massage bed. This massage bed costs $3,000. And you can create some add-on to this bed. You can get your headset and you can see different worlds. You can listen different music and you will get the premium massage. Okay, plus minus $300 if people don't have headset. This is a good. But if your product costs $9.99 and you will tell for add-on using VR for $499, this is not for you.
Yeah.
And also when your client ready to use your product itself, when product general use it in current way, people don't like when product have same functionality and you just to link and pressure to using the VR. This is very a bad experience. It's same thing as you create same iPhone with same design, but with supporting the VR, and you need again buy this.
Yeah. That's a good overview.
So, what's the next? Please describe your plan, verify your plan, and you can contact us. This is all from me. Thank you very much. If you have some questions, I'm ready to answer.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I think that's an worth an applause. A lot of good ideas and recommendations, and I think also some learnings from your work with your clients, which I think is really valuable, especially also kind of showing so when to use and when not to use VR. So what I like about it is really it's not the one and only, so it's all the time VR. Maybe one question from my side. So do you see, I mean, how do you see the market with your clients? And you have quite a few interesting clients. What is the distinction between those companies who are ahead and moving ahead with VR, using VR, and those who lag behind at the moment? Do you see kind of some patterns there?
If we're talking about patterns, every business need to move in VR area by small steps, some of them, because how I previously to show, not every products can be multiple on the VR and making inside the VR. But some businesses can, by small changes, switch to this. And they all need to use this VR experience for the organization process and for the communication itself. So, in my opinion, VR need to be for the next offices in 100%.
Yeah, very good. And do you see specific industries which are moving faster? I mean, you mentioned here, automotive. We saw the education space. So which industries are moving ahead and are faster?
E-commerce will be move much more faster because see this in automotive, they already making a lot of customizing things. But in commerce, this is only start. They only start making something customizable, not from the assembly line, and VR will be help this.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, any questions here from the audience? No, no. It's all new faces. It's the same names, but new faces, which is lovely. Kind of that's a nice uplift in Altspace VR. So we see some new avatars. So Nikolay, thank you very much for this interesting presentation. I know a lot of people will watch also afterwards the live stream, the recorded live stream on YouTube. We're going to share that as well. And then we leave here, you have your contact details here. We also obviously tag you so that people actually can reach out to you. I think you build up, what I really like also to see that with 200 people, that's pretty an impressive team you've built up. Yeah, and there's a lot of knowledge where organizations can benefit from that. So thanks again. And yeah, I want to really close with one more applause here. And yeah, with that, thank you very much and hope to see you in the future.
Thank you. Have a nice day.